chapter in my content of the course, that is impact of jet. We'll start with the basic definitions. First of all, we'll define the nozzle. It is a short converging tube which is fitted at the end of the pipe, and jet is a liquid trajectory which is issuing out from the nozzle. Impulse momentum principle. It states that the algebraic sum of all the external forces acting on the control volume of the fluid is equal to the rate of change of the momentum. According to Newton's second law of motion, summation of F is equals to m into a, where the summation of F is the net force, m is the mass of the object, and a is the acceleration or the rate of change of the velocity. If we simplify the above equation, that is simply F is equals to m dv over dt, and if I further rearrange this as F is equals to m over dt into dv, over here this m over dt, which is the mass of the fluid passing through any section per unit time, this ratio is termed as mass flow rate, and the symbol of the mass flow rate is capital M. Further, you can simplify this equation by replacing this m with the relation rho into q, and final equation is summation of F is rho q v2 minus v1. So over here the summation of F is the summation of the forces, m is the mass flow rate, rho is the density of the fluid, and q is the discharge or the volume flow rate. Now the sign conventions for the impulse momentum principle. So these are similar to simple x and y axis. So these are the sign conventions for the forces and the velocities. Now knowing the sign conventions, we can apply the impulse momentum equation, the equation which is coming from the impulse momentum principle in any direction. So to understand the application of the signs for the velocities and the forces, we can consider this following simple case. In this, a jet of the water is gliding over a plate as shown in the figure. Section 1 and Section 2 defines the boundary of the control volume, and F is the force which is acting normal to the plate. Fx and Fy are their components, and alpha is the inclination of this force F with the horizontal axis. Rho is the density of the fluid. Q is the discharge or the volume flow rate. V1 is the velocity of the jet at section 1, and V2 is the velocity of the jet at section 2. Now if you have to find out this force F, you can have two approaches. Either you can find out this F directly by applying the impulse momentum equation along the axis which is normal to this plate. That will give you directly the value of F. Otherwise, you can find out the components Fx and Fy, and their resultant will give you F. Over here we'll discuss the second approach. We will find out Fx and Fy, and then we will find out the resultant F by using these two. So to determine Fx, you will apply the impulse momentum equation along the x direction. That is, summation of forces along x should be equals to rate of change of the momentum in the x direction. It is equals to minus Fx minus Fxy, because you are having only Fx and it is acting in the negative direction. It is equals to mass flow rate into change in the velocity along the x direction. It is rho q v2x minus v1x. Now we have to see what are the signs of these v2x and v1x. So v1x is the x component of the velocity vector v1, and v2x is the x component of the velocity vector v2. If you see this figure, the flow is from section 1 to section 2, and at section 1 and section 2 it is inclined upward. If you resolve these velocities into their x and y component, you will see that both x and both y components of the velocities at these two sections are positive. So over here v1x and v2x both are positive. Similarly, you can find out Fy by applying the impulse momentum equation along the y direction. So over here, your Fy is positive, V2y and V1y both are positive. Okay, you can find out resultant force F by the resultant of these two, square root of Fx square plus Fy square. Also alpha, that is the inclination of this F with horizontal axis. It is tangent inverse of Fy over Fx. Now, this discussion summarizes a complete description of the impulse momentum equation applicable to the fluids. Now, we'll discuss the applications of the impulse momentum equation. The practical application includes the design of the turbine and design of the pump. So, I'll discuss these two in our next coming chapters. Till now, we'll discuss the application of the impulse momentum equation by considering the following cases. So case number 1 is the force of the jet striking normally to a flat vertical plate. This is the case in which a jet is striking normally to a flat fixed vertical plate. This is the force F, which you have to find. Section 1 and section 2 defines the boundary of the control volume. So over here, d is the diameter of the jet, a is the cross-sectional area of the jet, it is pi d square by 4, q is discharge, a into v, over here v is the velocity of the jet, m is rho q, it is rho a v, rho is the density of the fluid, and F is the force of the plate on the jet, which is exactly equal to the force of the jet on the plate but in the opposite direction. Now if you have to find out this force F, this is totally horizontal, so you need to apply the impulse momentum equation only along the x-axis. So this is your final equation, and over here you have to see what are the directions and what are the magnitudes of v1x and v2x. So over here v2x is 0 because you don't have any component of the velocity at section 2 along the x direction, it is vertical or it is along y. So v2x is 0, and on simplification your f is coming to be rho qv, or f is rho av square. If you write down this rho in terms of gamma, then f is coming to be as gamma av square by g. So it means that when a jet strikes on a flat plate normally, it exerts a force, and that force is rho qv or rho av square. If you keep your rho and area constant, then F is varying as a function of v square. So according to above equation, the force of the jet on a stationary normal surface is proportional to the square of the velocity of the jet. Also, if you have to increase the impulse force, you can do that by increasing the jet velocity. Now problem number 6.17, this is from Lafferty. So in this case you are having a jet which is striking normally to a flat vertical plate. The velocity of the jet is 30 meter per second and the discharge is 0.0589 cubics. You have to find out the force which this jet is exerting on the plate. So you know the simple formula, that is rho qv. Over here rho is not given, so assume the standard value for the water rho, that is 1000 kg per meter cube, and if you just put the values in the formula you will get F as 1767 newtons. Now case number 2, force of the jet on inclined stationary flat plate. So you can see that you are considering a jet which is striking normally on this inclined plate, which is making an angle theta with respect to the jet axis. This is the fixed plate or stationary plate. Further, if you see this figure, this is the Fn, this is the force normal to the plate, and this is the force which you have to compute. Fx and Fy are the components of this Fn. Also, the component of the velocity along the axis normal to the plate is v sine of theta, and this remaining angle is 90 minus theta. Also, this angle is 90 minus theta. So all the parameters are same. The different parameters are theta, that is angle between the jet axis and the plate axis. Fn is the force of the plate on the jet in the normal direction, which is exactly equal to the force of the jet on the plate in the normal direction. Fx is x component of Fn and Fy is the y component of Fn. In this case, we will not find out Fx and Fy and then resultant. In fact, we will find out Fn directly by applying the impulse momentum equation along the axis normal to the plate. So Fn is rate of change of momentum along the axis normal to the plate, that is mass flow rate into change in the velocity along the axis normal to the plate. It is rho q v sine of theta minus 0, and that comes Fn as rho q v sine of theta or rho a v square sine of theta. So remaining parameters are same. The additional parameter is theta. Fn is varying directly as a function of sine of theta. When angle theta is reduced, Fn is also reduced. Maximum angle could be 90. So Fn minimum will be 0 when theta is 0, and Fn maximum is rho qv when theta is 90. Also, you can find out the components of this Fn along x and y by simply using cos of 90 minus theta and sine of 90 minus theta. You know the relation of FL, Just put the relation in the equation and simplify. You will get these relations for fx and fy. Okay, now this numerical problem. In this problem, it is stated that a jet of the water having diameter 75 millimeter, moving with a velocity of 25 meter per second, strikes a fixed plate in such a way that the angle between the jet and the plate is 60 degree. Find forces exerted by the jet on the plate. Number 1 in the direction normal to the plate. Number 2 in the direction of the jet. So this is a solution. You will first convert your units to the basic and then you will just apply the formula to find out Fn and Fx. This Fn is the force normal to the plate and this Fx is the force which is along the jet axis. So these are your two required values for the forces. Okay, case number 3, force of the jet on a single moving flat plate. So in this case your plate is not fixed, it can move when the jet is striking over it. So this is section 1 at the nozzle and this is section 2. So you can see that this is the initial position of the jet and when the jet is striking, sorry, this is the initial position of the plate and when the jet is striking on the plate will move forward and this is your section 2. Now once the liquid is out of section 1 or out of the nozzle, the velocity will be not only the jet velocity v, it will be now the relative velocity. The velocity relative is with respect to the plate velocity and that is termed as u over here. So that is the only difference between your fixed and the moving case, that in this case now the governing velocity is the relative velocity v minus u. So over here d, a, q, m, rho are same. V is the velocity of the jet, u is the velocity of the plate in the forward direction. Also F is the force of the plate on the jet which is exactly equals to the force of the jet on the plate. Now you have to find out force F. For that you will apply the impulse momentum equation along the x direction because your force is horizontal. So in this case the mass flow rate leaving the nozzle is rho q or rho av and the mass flow rate striking the plate is rho av minus u. Your velocity is now replaced with the relative velocity. So if you write down or simplify the equation, it is minus f is rho av minus u into v2x minus v1x and on simplification it is coming as f is rho av minus u square. So over here this v1x is also v minus u. So this equation is for the force of the plate on the jet when the plate is moving forward and jet is tracking normally. This force is lesser than the force of the jet on the flat plate which is stationary and when the plate is moving backward, this force will be more. Comparing the above expression and force for case 1, it is concluded that force of the jet on a single moving flat plate is reduced as compared to a stationary flat plate. Also, you can find out the work done by the plate in this case. So in this case, the work will be done by the plate as the plate is moving. But for the stationary plates, the work done is zero because plates are fixed and they are not covering any distance. So work done by the plate is force into the distance in the direction of the flow. If you need work done per second, then this will be the distance covered per unit time. This distance covered per unit time is termed as velocity. So it is the velocity of the plate, so it is F into U. You have developed the relation for F, so it is rho a v minus U square into U. In the above equation, if you put the values of rho in SI units, then the work done will be Newton meter per second. The term Newton meter per second is also equals to watt, which is the unit of the power. It means that work done per second by the plate can also be termed as power. This is the power which is developed by the plate. Now you can convert this power in terms of head, that will be your output energy or output head. So that can be done by using this relation of P is gamma q h. So over here h is the required head, it will be P over gamma q. P is work done per second and this gamma q is your weight flow rate. So it is rho av minus u square over u. This is work done per second equation and this is gamma q. You can simplify the equation by writing this gamma as rho into g and q as a into v. On simplification, you will get this equation. So this is the output energy developed in the plate in terms of the head. Now we'll also find out the input energy for the plate, that is work done per weight supplied to the plate, and it is the kinetic head, which is v square over 2g. So in this case, jet of the water has only the velocity and the pressure energy. But in your case, the jet is open to atmosphere, so it will not have any pressure energy. It will only have the velocity. So velocity in terms of the head is v square over 2g. Now you can find out the efficiency of the plate by finding the ratio of output and input in percentage. And if you simplify the equation, you will get this equation for efficiency. Okay, numerical number 3. So in this, a jet of the water having diameter 10 centimeters strikes a flat plate normally with a velocity of 15 meter per second. The plate is moving with a velocity of 6 meter per second in the direction of the jet and away from the jet. It means that the movement of the plate is along the jet axis and it is moving away from the jet. You have to find out the force exerted by the jet on the plate, work done per second by the plate or power, and efficiency. You know the relations for these three, just put the values in the equations and you will get the answers. So initially convert your basic units, your given units into the basic units, and this is your first required value, that is F. This is the equation for the F which you have just derived. Put the values, and this is your force which is exerted by the jet on the plate. Then work done per second by the plate, it is F into U. You know the value of F and you know U. Simply multiply them. This is the power. And efficiency, this is the equation of the efficiency which we have just developed. Just put the values in this equation of E and U and you will get the efficiency as 28.8%. So this efficiency helps you to understand that this system is not a very good system because around 71% of the energy is lost in this. Okay, and only 28% of the hydraulic energy is converted into the mechanical energy, which is in this case in form of the movement of the plate. So it is not a very good system, it is not a very efficient system.